Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. So I want to tell you about the two sisters that were found in the Hudson River on the 24th of October. Excuse me. So, and I actually made a video about this back when they had just been identified, their names, but there's more known about it now, but there's still a lot that's unknown. Initially, they believed maybe it was a suicide, which I didn't fully understand because their bodies were taped together. And they thought it was some kind of joint suicide pact between the two sisters, that they had just agreed to do this together or something like that, and had jumped from the George Washington Bridge and were eventually found at 68th Street on the Manhattan side at the Manhattan riverbank, the Hudson River at like 68th Street. Riverside Park is where it is, a very nice area. And their bodies were taped together. They were fully clothed. In fact, they both had on jackets with like black fur trim, leggings. They were taped at the waist, facing each other, and also at the feet. I don't know if their feet were just tied up individually or together as well. I'm not real sure. And the findings from the chief medical examiner have not been released for their autopsies, but it's been reported that there's no trauma to their bodies whatsoever, or nothing significant, basically ruling out the fact that they jumped from the George Washington Bridge. If they had jumped from the George Washington Bridge, there would have been massive trauma, in various places on their body. And why would you tape yourselves together and then leap off of the bridge together? It never made a whole lot of sense, but I don't know. I was making the video, and then right at the end of making the video, it was late at night, I realized, oh yeah, this is the one where they're saying they jointly committed suicide together, and that was before they had identified them. So now they're pictured, and there's a little bit more to their story. They're from Saudi Arabia, and according to not just like the Daily Mail, I saw CBS, the family, the mother told detectives she got a call from a Saudi official at the Saudi embassy the day before their body was found, saying that they were being ordered back to Saudi Arabia because the two daughters, the two daughters are Tala Faria, F-A-R-E-A, Faria, and Rotana Faria. Tala is the younger sister. She's the one it doesn't look like a hijab, but I guess it is, like a hood in the picture, the photos that's provided. And Rotana, and she's the younger one. She's 16. Rotana is 22. And but according to CBS, Daily Mail, the mother, she got a call from a Saudi official at the Saudi embassy telling the family to return to Saudi Arabia, ordering the family to leave the U.S. because the daughters had applied for political asylum. I mean, there's a lot still we don't know, but there's just a lot of things that are extremely strange. So the family came to the United States in 2015. The parents live in Fairfax, New Jersey. That's where the two girls come from. They have two brothers as well. The father, as I understand it, I read in a couple different reports, he travels frequently between Saudi Arabia and in the United States. I don't know if he was in the country at the time, but I believe he was called to New York City and came when their bodies were discovered. So I guess he was in the country at this time. The younger sister, Tala Faria, had been reported missing back on August 24th, almost exactly 3 months before the bodies were discovered. But that search was eventually called off because it was learned that she was with her sister, who was in New York City going to school there. Her sister, who had finished, I think, nearly 2 years at George Mason University as an engineering student, dropped out of George Mason and began going to school in New York City. Now, apparently, I just learned this from reading about it, George Mason has very close ties to Saudi Arabia. I don't know why. I guess because it's in Virginia, close to Washington, D.C., and they've donated $63 million to the school. They have like 370 students, 270 of which they've paid for their educations in full. And so they have a strong tie to the school. And the two girls had run away previously, back in December of 2017, to a shelter in Fairfax, New Jersey. Supposedly they begged the police not to, turn them back over to their parents. But we don't know much about that, and that's 2 kids, and that's in December of 2017. That's basically a year ago. Tala would have been 15. Rotana would have been, still, she would have been 21, and, legal to do whatever she wants anyways. Supposedly, Tala ran away most recently because she had received a full scholarship to an exclusive school in Saudi Arabia. And it seemed as though the entire family might be going back to Saudi Arabia, so she took off to avoid that, I think, But again, that missing persons report that the parents filed, and actually in the missing persons report, it said she may be with her older sister, Rotana. They eventually called that off because it was learned that she was. So as soon as Tuesday, they still did not know their cause of death. The official findings from the medical examiner's autopsies hasn't been released. They've sent detectives, the New York Police Department has sent detectives to Fairfax, New Jersey, which is, Fairfax, Virginia, to investigate further and speak with the family. And, that's pretty much the story there. It's pretty unusual, especially with Saudi Arabia being in the news so much because of Khashoggi and other things, Definitely. And just the manner, 2 young women, 16 and 22 years old, 2 sisters found in the Hudson River, taped together, facing each other, fully clothed. Obviously pretty unusual, to say the least. All right, well, that's what I know so far. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.